the FOCAC implementation review or coordinating meeting went into life today, and it started off by an opening ceremony which was addressed by the Vice President of the Republic of China, and thereafter of course we're followed by a group photographer. But the key issue today has been the interactive platform which we were provided by the People's Republic of China with all the financial institutions of China. Each of the financial institutions made a submission, made a presentation to us, and defining the roles, defining what it does, and defining the kind of products which are offered by each of the financial institutions in China. And you recall that there are so many. There's the Bank of China, there's the Agricultural Bank of China, there's the China Development Bank of China, there's Afro-Exim Bank of China, there are card funds, there are various funds for investment. And the key issue is that each of these financial institutions has got a role in China. The Agricultural Bank focuses on investment in the agricultural sector, value addition, and all various aspects in terms of reverse integration, where there will be a requirement to invest into the productive agricultural sector. An example is where we require our own citrus fruits to be developed. This is the kind of institution which will be made that. While the Afro-Exim Bank specializes in concessional loans and commercial loans, the China Development Bank is purely a development and a developmental bank which focuses on infrastructure, which enhances the capacity and all the requirements of the key enablers in the economic or in the market where these investments are made. And there are different other types of banks and financial institutions. We got this presentation from each and one of them, and we had an interactive process to cross-examine the challenges which Africa is facing as a result of financial products which are offered by the Chinese financial institutions. But the key factor was that China remains the biggest investor in Africa. We are responsible for ensuring that we manage the models which these financial institutions provide in order for us not to fall into a debt trap. And that is exactly what we have been discussing in that regard. And we, in one of the 8 action initiatives which President Xi mentioned last year in 2018 at the FOCAC summit, he mentioned about capacity building, and that Zimbabwe was going to host the African Union Capacity Building Foundation, which is going to provide the skills which are required. Our biggest problem is to develop feasibility studies which are in line with each of the 8 initiatives. And these feasibility studies must be in line with the financial institutions here in China in order to be able to access resources out of the 60 billion which is available here in China. We are therefore saying it is the responsibility and it is the obligation of this capacity building foundation which should develop not only skills for the pre and the feasibility studies, but also post-operation skills of various projects. And at the end of that, we have an interactive process at a dinner banquet tonight.